Hello, hello, hello. My name is Micaiah Stevens, and you're probably wondering what the heck is going on here. Let me explain a little bit more. So, next week is my birthday, June 29th to be exact. And as a little birthday treat, I decided to attend a concert played by Melanie Martinez. Now, she has been my favorite artist for years, so I was ecstatic to hear that she was going to be playing here. For her most recent album, Portals, she has donned a certain character, and this character has been in her previous albums before. The character's name is Crybaby, but this most recent album, Crybaby, has evolved into a different being. That being a sort of fae that's kind of like out of this world, per se. So, when I heard this, I was thinking, how in the world am I going to show up to this concert? And, you know, when people go to concerts, they tend to wear something similar to the artist. And since it's my birthday, I wanted to go all out. So I decided to design all of the pieces for my outfit, from the pants to the shirt to the accessories. This isn't going to be what I'm wearing. I'm still working on the shirt, and I'm still working on a lot of my other accessories. But today I wanted to show you how to make one thing. Creating this crown helped me bring out a bit of my creative side. And in this demonstration, I want to help people bring out a bit of their creative side as well. The first thing we're going to need is 2 bouquets of plants from Dollar Tree. And it doesn't have to specifically be these. And it could just be something that goes with the color scheme of the outfit you want to pair your crown with. But it specifically has to be 2 bouquets of plants, and I'll explain later on why. You also want to make sure that you take off the plants. That way you have blades of grass to decorate with, as well as flowers and leaves as well. You're also going to need something to bind with. I have this jute cord, and I also got this from Dollar Tree as well. And it doesn't have to specifically be this. It could be any type of fabric or sort of yarn or string. Just something to bind with. You're also going to need a glue gun as well as glue. This is optional, but you might need, if you want to, any sort of ribbon or fabric. I chose fabric because it matches with the pants I'm wearing, and I pre-cut the fabric as well. You're also going to need some scissors and any sort of bobby pins. I'm talking about these specific ones. And finally, you're going to need decorative moss. And fair warning with this stuff, it gets really messy. So if you would like, please just lay down something that's easy to clean this up with. With that being said, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is detach the plant from the bouquet. Now, normally the Dollar Tree ones are pretty easy to pull off. You just kind of pull them off. But this one is a little bit difficult because it's actually glued on. You're going to want to take a pair of nail clippers. I found that it was easier to remove it with nail clippers, so best recommend to use nail clippers. And you just and it removes. So when you remove the plant from the stems, what you're going to do is braid these. And how we're going to do this is by starting to separate the stems a bit. That way we have 5 strands, and we're going to create a 5-strand braid. The way you do that is by taking your end piece, and we're going to put it under the piece next to it, then over this top piece. That way it's in the middle. We're going to do the same for this side. We're going to go under the piece that was next to it and over this next piece. That way, this is now in the middle. These inside pieces, we don't want the braid to be too tight. We want it to be a little bit loose. So keep that in mind. Okay. So under, again, and over. And we're just going to keep on repeating this until we get to the end. So by the time we're done with the braid, it should look like this. Remember, make sure it's kind of see-through in the end. Now, once we've gotten to the point where it's hard to braid, again, you're going to want to take your longest piece right here, and you're just going to wrap it around. So now that this is completed, we're going to use this as the base for our crown. And as I said previously, you're going to need 2 stems. That way you can interconnect them both and use it as the crown. So what I'm doing is taking the ends and basically interweaving them into the base of the crown. So you sort of just push them into each other. I'm gonna push from this side, and then the back piece to this. I'm just going to push into our other stem. And there you go, interweaved. So now that we have that, we're going to take a bit of jute string and we're going to cut it. And we're going to use this for a little bit extra security. We want this really secure. So we take this and you just tie it around. So when you're done, it should look sort of like this. Now, for extra comfort and to make sure that we're like completely secure, I'm going to take a hot glue gun and we're going to hot glue the ends. Specifically, if you could see, I'll provide a picture if it's hard to see, but if there are like any extra like loose ends, it's best that you add hot glue to them. That way they're not poking your head or anything like that. And you just kind of want to go all around to just make sure it's going to stay and that this string will not untie because you glued it down. And you see right here, it's a little flyaway. So we're just going to glue a bead on here. That way we have some extra comfort when we put this on. Also be mindful, since we're using hot glue, it does tend to get really hot. So make sure as well you're paying attention, and if you would like, you can put something on your hands. That way you don't burn your hands. All right, this is about done. So I'm going to be right back. I'm just gonna let this dry. So while we wait for the crown to dry, we're going to start on our bow. But to start out, make sure your sides are even, and we're going to put this in between our thumb, and it should look like this. Then we're going to make a figure 8 between our middle finger and our pointer finger. So we bring this piece of fabric through the pointer and ring finger, and we take it and we put it through the middle and the index finger. And we're just gonna wrap this again and take it and put it down the middle right here. We're going to take this one and put it through, we'll put it under all 3 fabrics and pull it through. We're gonna leave this one right here, and we just pulled through that one. And once you do that, you can bring it down. That way it looks like this. And just adjust it a bit. That way the pieces of the bow are more prominent. Once you're satisfied with the size, put the 2 loops back on your fingers for security and just make a knot at the bottom. Just adjust again. And ta-da, a bow. I'm gonna do the second one off camera. Okay, now that this is dry, we're going to shape this to our head. So just wrap it around, make sure this is kind of where you want it to be. And when you get that initial shape, you're going to bend this a little bit. That way it can kind of mimic your head shape. Now we got that, it's kind of fitting a bit better. To make it fit a little bit more, you're gonna want to take these ends to it and slightly lift it. So we're going to take this and bend it down, that way this part lifts up. And then we're going to try and put it to our head again, and lo and behold, it sticks. To make sure though that everything is nice and secure, I'm going to take a few hairpins and I'm going to put them on the actual crown and make sure they're in a nice comfortable spot. I recommend that you put it 1 in the middle and 2 at the sides. With that done, our base is done. We're going to put the ribbons on. Yay! So here's one, and just place it wherever you want. I know I want mine sort of towards the back. That way it's draped down my back. So what I'm going to do is place it, and I'm going to take a bit of scrap fabric that I just have lying around and just cut a small piece. With that, I'm going to take it, make sure these 2 pieces of the ribbon are separated, and put it on top and sort of wrap it at the bottom. And I'm going to secure it with a little bit more hot glue. So we're just going to press down and just press on here to make sure it's nice and secure. And you don't gotta use that much, just a little bit. There we go. So I'm gonna give you guys an example on how to add a piece of plant. So I have this leaf, And what I'm going to do is, since we have the end of it, it has this little part sticking out, I'm going to just press it down into one of these few holes. So maybe press it in like this, and boom. You can also do this for the blades of grass. So what I'm going to do is separate a piece, probably just cut it, excuse me. I'm gonna cut it. We have our blade of grass, and now we just put it wherever we want. We could slide it in to one of these smaller crevices and just tie it around a bit, and it could stick out like this if we just tie it a bit more. And again, it doesn't matter. It's all about what you want to do with your crown. And you know, it just kind of sticks out like that. If you can see, yep, it can kind of stick out like that. So I'm gonna be right back, and then I'm gonna show you guys how you can put on the moss. Hi, I'm back, and this is what we have so far. So the plant that we cut earlier, the leaf from it is coming around, that way it could shape my head and come all the way around my head. The same with these blades of grass right here. They're gonna come out a bit, that way it comes all the way to right here on my head. And I also added some plants, some flowers. Now we're going to use decorative moss. And as I said before, decorative moss is really messy. So if you have a plastic bag or anything that you could use to easily clean it up with, I recommend you putting that down before you continue on. So what we're gonna do is use our hot glue gun. We're going to drizzle some glue on, and then we're going to pat the moss in. And just drizzle hot glue on. Okay, now we're going to take some moss and dab it, dab it, dab it, dab it, dab it. Dab, dab, dab. And be careful again. As I said, very hot glue. This is what it should look like. So now I'm just going to do this to some more of the crevices. Here's how it looks. So we have some moss right here, here, and here. And there you have it. This is how you make the crown. And we have one more step before this. Try it on. So I'm just gonna stand up real quick and see how it looks. Now, as I said before, we had these 3 pins on the inside. So what I'm going to do is pin the middle one first, then these 2 side ones. So you just look at a mirror. And also, this could be worn with any sort of hairstyle where you have part of your hair down. That way you can feel secure, and if you're able to, when you want to shake your head around, you're able to do that as well. Right, so just make sure you adjust it to how you like. Give yourself a little shake. And there you have it. That is how you make your plant crown. And you can wear it to any sort of event that has a little bit of nature based, whether it's a fairy party, a Melanie Martinez concert, or just a gathering where you're out in nature. A plate crown can be worn with anything, and I hope you're able to take some inspiration from this video as well as an increased amount of creativity. I hope you guys have a great day, and thank you.